Hey guys, so this is Real Steel Week 7. We'll be going over our start and sits, mainly just player rankings. I'm Zach Steele. This is Tyler Hobart. So we'll just go game by game and make a few notes on every player. So right here for Panthers at Saints, you can see we both have Bridgewater and Breeze ranked as QB2s this week. Not super thrilled about either one. Obviously, you're starting the running backs in this game. You're probably starting those top two receivers for the Panthers. I think Curtis Samuel, even though he's not ranked in our top 50 at the position, I think he does have some flex appeal. I think Latavius
Hmm.
Murray's got some upside as a RB3 this week. I like his odds of falling in the end zone. I think they'll be really run heavy without their top receivers. The only receiver I'm really looking to start for the Saints is Traquan Smith, and I think Jared Cook's a tight end one, but fringe. Yeah, he should get more looks with all their pass catchers out this week.
I agree. So next we got the Bills at the Jets. I think you're only really looking to the Bills players this week as the Jets are pretty abysmal and go against a great defense. So I don't think you're too happy about starting Gabriel Davis if you had John Brown and you want to bring him in. I don't know if that's the move for you, but Josh Allen's an elite quarterback play this week.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Singletary, we have at running back 20, but I'm not sure how I feel about that. How he'll do this week, it's
Yeah.
a little iffy, and I don't know how much of a workload Moss will get this week. And Diggs continue to start him. He's been a wide receiver one, and we have him at wide receiver 3 this week.
Yeah, and I guess just a quick note, it sounds like Crowder's actually going to miss this week, so I think that
Yeah,
does make Perriman a flex option if you're desperate, but
if you're desperate.
that's really the
Hmm.
only guy I'm looking to even consider playing out of New York.
I agree.
So this should be kind of fun game. Neither of us think you should play Baker this week. I think Joe Burrow is a fringe QB1 if you want to use him. I think you're starting both the lead running backs in this game. Obviously, you'd prefer Kareem Hunt, but I think Giovanni Bernard's in line for a lot of work. He's got a nice floor with his passing game. Um, I'm starting Odell this week, but I'm not thrilled about it. Same with Boyd and Higgins. I would like to avoid starting AJ Green or Jarvis Landry if I could, but I think they're viable if you need a flex. And David Njoku with Austin Hooper out, I think is maybe sneaky, but they really like their rookie Harrison Bryant too, so I wouldn't be thrilled about throwing Njoku in your lineup.
If Bernard's still on your waivers, go get him.
Oh yeah.
Good place. Yep. So next we got the Cowboys at Washington. So neither of us think Andy Dalton should get the nod this week, but Zeke's going to be a top play, I think, against
Mm-hmm.
Washington's run defense. Cooper, we have him as a wide receiver 2 this week with CD stretching there, and Gallup we didn't rank him very high, and Dalton Schultz, if you have to play him, go for it. Neither of
Yep.
us think you should play Kyle Allen either, but Gibson could be a top play this week as a running back 1 against a just terrible Cowboys run
Terrible.
defense. McKissick could get a nice flex play. He's a great pass catcher for them. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver 1 again this week. You have to play him. And Logan Thomas, I'm not necessarily thrilled about playing him unless I just have to.
Yeah, you got to be desperate to play Thomas, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to this game. This game should be fun. We've got Aaron Jones ranked. We actually tied him in our rankings with Kamara for RB1, but keep an eye on his status. He's looking like he'll be a game time decision. So if he sits, I think Jamal Williams is in line for a good game. Obviously, you're starting both these quarterbacks. Should be a really high scoring game. Devontae Adams, he's a top 3 receiver in fantasy every week, so you're playing him. Robert Tunyon, if you're interested. I think he's a French tight end 1, but I'm not thrilled about it. You're playing David Johnson just because the volume he's getting. I think you're playing Fuller and Cooks just because of how good they've been of late. Randall Cobb, even though we didn't rank him, I think he's got some flex appeal. And Darren Fells, he's been good the last couple weeks. So if you want to chase points, go for it. But I'm not thrilled about it.
Mm-hmm. Could be nice.
Good.
So this week's hopefully going to be a crazy shootout between the Lions and Falcons. So
Mm-hmm.
Stafford, look for quarterback 1 play. Swift, potentially a flex play or running back 2 or 3. Not too high on him. Galladay is going to be a wide receiver 1 for you this week, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to start him.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Jones, if you're desperate, but I think there are better options out there. And as well, TJ Hawkinson in line to potentially have a tight end 1 kind of week. Matt Ryan as well, hopefully is going to go off. So quarterback 1, Todd Gurley, as much as I hate to say it, I think is going to get a lot of touches this week. So he'll probably fall in the end zone. So he might be a top play this week. Calvin Ridley has been a superstar there with Julio Jones. So those are both potentially wide receiver 1 plays. And Hayden Hurst, if you have him, I think you have to start him this week as well. He's been solid, and it goes against a weaker defense this week and
Yep.
potentially a shootout.
And if Marvin Jones doesn't hit this week, you can drop him. He's been awful this whole season. He's not going to get more
Yeah, this
matchup
is kind of
love.
his
So
last
yeah,
like
and
chance to do
if
something.
you're not playing him this week, then I don't know why you're rostering him. So at that point,
Mhm.
you could, if you're not going to play him, maybe go add someone with more upside. So this game, I think this game could actually be a shootout as well.
Fun
I think
or defensive.
it really could go either way, but I think you're playing both quarterbacks. I would prefer Tannehill, but I think they're really close. You're playing both starting running backs. Connor and Henry have both been elite so far this season. You're playing AJ Brown. He's been a monster since he's came back. You're playing Johnson and Claypool. I think those are the clear 1 and 2 in Pittsburgh. And if you need to play Juju, but I don't like it, and I think he might even still be ranked too high at wide receiver 40. He's just not getting volume. And Johnny Smith,
Tough.
he's been an elite tight end so far this season. If he plays, which all signs look like he's going to, even on that ankle, you got to play him.
Nice. So we got Buccaneers and Raiders. So I think if you have Tom Brady, this is a week you should probably roll him out there if you don't have better options. Ronald Jones has been solid, and I think he continues to produce this week. So low end running back 1. We have a running back 13. Fournette, I don't think you're looking to really play him this week unless you're just desperate. Chris Godwin, we have wide receiver 14, so a high-end wide receiver 2. Mike Evans, the drop-off is abysmal here for us on our rankings. So maybe a solid wide receiver 2 play. Gronk sneaks in there. Not too happy about that. I wouldn't necessarily love to play him this week, but potentially might get some targets.
Yep.
Whereas we have Waller at tight end 3. I think he's going to have an awesome week against the Bucks. Carr, I would look to better options just to play him, but if you have to, I guess. Josh Jacobs has been fantastic. We have a running back 10, but that line this week, we'll see. Henry Ruggs, we have a wide receiver 39. I think you should be playing unless you're desperate like me.
Yeah. Just a quick note on Josh Jacobs. I know you kind of have to play him if you own him, but they're playing a really good run defense in Tampa Bay, and he might have a practice squad blocking for him. So
yeah,
at least lower expectations for him this week. So Chiefs Broncos. I think we all know how this game's going to go, but you're obviously playing Mahomes every week. You got to play Clyde. He looked elite last week. Notice we don't even have Le'Veon Bell on here. I don't think he's worth a flex play until you see him, especially this week. You're playing Tyreek Hill. Obviously, he's wide receiver 1, albeit fringe wide receiver 1. He hasn't quite been getting the volume we're used to. Demarcus Robinson looked good filling in for Watkins last week, so I think he's a low-end flex play if you need it. Kelsey, you're starting Kelsey. There's no way you're not. Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay, they're both low-end RB3s. I'm not thrilled about starting either one. I think if you have to, I prefer Gordon, but I would avoid that backfield altogether if I could. Honestly, the only Bronco I'm looking to start this week is Fant. I know Patrick's been solid, but I don't think I can really trust that. And Judy, I know he's a fun name, but I don't think I'm trusting either one of those guys.
Nice. So Jaguars and Chargers, I think Gardner's not a great play this week, but if you have to. So we have a quarterback 18. James Robinson we have as a mid-range running back 2. And then the wide receivers for the Jaguars get a little messy. If you have any of them, you're probably going to be playing them, but not necessarily high, as neither one of them have terrific separation and the volume there. And it's going to be a tough week for Jaguars pass catchers, I think. Justin Herbert's been great, and so I think if you want to play him, like this would be a great week to do so. The running backs are a little messy, but Justin Jackson, I think, has taken the lead role there, and he's been a good pass catcher for them. So I think maybe you want to play him as like a flex player, okay, RB2.
Yeah.
Josh Kelly, I'm not too high on, but Keenan Allen's been fantastic. You have to play him, of course. Mike Williams, I'm not really happy about playing him. I'd like to see more out of him before I'm even confident in him as a flex. And Hunter Henry, I think if you have him, you got to be playing him.
Yeah, I mean, I love Hunter Henry's odds at a touchdown this week. Jaguars suck at defending tight ends, so should be a good week for most patch catchers in LA. So Niners Patriots, this should be a low-scoring, ugly game. I'm not thrilled about too many options here. with Mostert out, I think you play McKinnon, but he hasn't looked great the last couple of games. I think you're going to see Jeff Wilson or Jermichael Hasty get work, so I'm not thrilled about it. But the volume and pass catching upside, I think we have him ranked appropriately, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's finishes way lower than that. Debo, he gets enough volume that I think you can play him. George Kittle, he's obviously a lock-it-in player every week. Newton's rushing upside gives him, you can start him, but
You can start him, yeah.
I'm not thrilled about it. I would start James White as a flex slash RB3, but I'm not thrilled about it. Damian Harris, I don't think I'm playing this week, even though we have him ranked at RB34. He's had one good game, and I'm not bought in there. And Edelman, he's looked awful since that game against the Seahawks. So I would prefer to sit him this week, but if you need to play him, I think he's got a decent floor.
So I'm hoping this game has the most fantasy points out of all the games this week, and so we're split on who's quarterback one. But either way, I think they're going to be in this game between Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. Just going to be two awful pass defenses going at it. I think Chris Carson. It's Chris Larson on here. Nice. So yeah, I think you got to play Chris Carson. The Seahawks 11. That's too funny. We have him at running back 9. DK and Lockett wide receiver 1 is going to be awesome. You have to play him. We both have Greg Olsen unranked. I don't think you should really look to with confidence to Greg Olsen. Russell Wilson hasn't really been consistent with a specific tight end yet. Kenyon Drake, you're not happy about it, that's for sure. But I think you should roll him out there this week and potentially Chase Edmonds as a flex. Hopkins, wide receiver 1, we both agreed on it this week. He's probably just going to have a fantastic week. We didn't rank Christian Kirk, but again, it's the Seattle pass defense. He could go out there and get you a couple points, and especially in PPR.
Yeah, and keep an eye on it. Hopkins is dealing with an ankle injury. It sounds like he should suit up, but if he doesn't, I think that instantly makes Kirk a wide receiver 2 this week.
Yeah.
So last game here for Monday night, we got the Bears at the Rams. I really hope you're not playing either quarterback in this one. I think you can start David Montgomery and you can start Darrell Henderson, but I'm not thrilled about it. He's also been a little banged up, and that running back that backfield's all over the place, so I'm not thrilled there. I think you're obviously starting Allen Robinson. He gets such a high volume that he's got a nice floor. You're going to start Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. I prefer Kupp, but he looked awful last week. But I think you got to play them both.
You have to.
Jimmy Graham is playable. He's really touchdown dependent, but most tight ends are. So if you need you can play him. And Gerald Everett, we only have him ranked at 17 here just because of Higbee being banged up. But if Higbee misses the game, I think he could actually see a good week. So I think Everett's a decent flex option, especially if Higbee misses, not flex, but tight end stream. So yeah, that's all. If you guys have any start-sit questions, please be sure to drop them in the comments. We do our best to get back to you. Leave us a like, hit subscribe. We upload a couple of videos a week. Hopefully they've all been helpful to those of you who have been following along. But yeah, thanks for watching.